Thank you. Happening today, Planned Parenthood will resume abortion care services in Wisconsin. It's been more than a year since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Kristen Allen joining us live in Ashwaubenon this morning. Kristen, are all the clinics in the state reinstating these services?
No, they won't all be reinstating abortion care services starting today. According to Planned Parenthood's website, there are 22 Planned Parenthood clinics in Wisconsin, and like one behind me here in Ashwaubenon, but they will be reinstating them today in Milwaukee and Madison. So the one here behind me will not be offering abortion care services again. Now, these clinics are offering these services once again as the lawsuit challenging the state law continues in county court and is expected to eventually reached the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Lawmakers insisted an 1849 Wisconsin law, which outlawed most abortions, took effect in absence of a federal law. But recently, a Dane County Circuit Court judge ruled that law doesn't actually apply to abortion procedures. During the ruling in July, the judge wrote the state statute does not prohibit consensual voluntary medical abortions. Rather, it prohibits feticides, which is the non-consensual killing of a fetus. For example, the case law used in this particular case talks about the abuse of a pregnant woman that led to the death of the fetus inside the mother's womb. Attorney General Josh Kaul says that the litigation is ongoing and they will fight to get this resolved, saying in part, quote, "We will continue to fight for a final judgment that conclusively resolves the issue." Reporting live in Ashwaubenon, Kristen Allen, Action 2 News.